The family of Lee and Evelyn Abbott, survivors of an invading and nearly invulnerable alien species, often called Death Angels, that viciously attacks anything that makes a sound, apart from each other, despite the extremely loud way they attack their prey, was first introduced to us in 2018 through John Krasinski's A Quiet Place. In A Quiet Place Part 2, the Abbotts' hardships were carried over as they encountered more survivors and discovered unexpected strategies for countering the alien danger. Sam and Eric, two entirely new protagonists, are left adrift in New York City on the first day of the alien onslaught in the brand new prequel A Quiet Place. Day 1. Viewers get the closest and most thorough glimpse at the Death Angels' entrance that they have seen thus far, as well as the first look at their deadly consequences on crowded urban centers, thanks to the new environment and endearing new people. Additionally, it offers a more thorough, albeit incomplete, look at a few survivors who went on to head the island colony in A Quiet Place Part 2. This movie has a lot going on, so let's examine what happened at the heartbreaking conclusion. Sam, a hospice patient with cancer, goes into Manhattan with the other residents and Nurse Rubin to see some puppetry in A Quiet Place. Day 1. The first descent of the Death Angels from the stars disrupts their journey, wrecking the bus, killing a great number of people, and leaving Sam and Rubin among the scared first survivors. Here is where they first meet Henry, who will subsequently take the helm of the island survival group that viewers will encounter in A Quiet Place Part 2. With the exception of her adorably cute cat Frodo, Sam ultimately sets out on her own to fulfill her real purpose, which is to return to Harlem and get a Patsy's Pizza slice. Sam is adamant about getting to Harlem, even though everyone is being instructed to head for the water since the aliens are incapable of swimming and survivors are being taken to safety on government-mandated boats. In spite of Sam's early attempts to get rid of him, she meets Eric, her most significant human friend, a displaced British law student in New York, and the two unlikely travelers venture together to Harlem, transforming each other's life in the process. When Eric initially emerges, he is drenched, afraid, and obviously overtaken by trauma. He is shown emerging from a flooded subway tunnel. Though he's in a panic, he catches his breath when he notices Frodo looking down at him. He regains attention as he locks eyes with the cat, and he then locates Sam. She is determined to go back to Harlem, and despite her best efforts to lose him, the scared and lonely Eric decides to accompany Sam and Frodo on their adventure, since he has nowhere else to turn and doesn't want to be alone. In the end, the two prove to be beneficial to one another. Sam maintains her composure in the face of difficulty, perhaps because of her past struggles with her own impending death, and Eric provides Sam with the complementary physical strength she needs to support her when the pain becomes too great. The odd travelers quietly become friends as they aid one another in surviving terrifying situations and stave off an increasingly dire apocalypse. It is amusing that the cat, and specifically the regular task of finding, transporting, or saving it, was so integral to the protagonist's meeting. Saving a cat from creatures has a strong pedigree in monster movie history, most notably in Ridley Scott's 1979 classic Alien, even sparking an influential, somewhat infamous screenwriting book. In this specific franchise, considering cats' reputation as quiet predators with cute faces, it's also a clever narrative technique. As the two approach Harlem and Sam's health begins to deteriorate rapidly, we learn why Sam is obsessed with finding Harlem pizza, despite the flurry of terrified onlookers. Before her father's unexpected death from cancer, Sam had warm and fuzzy childhood memories of him, especially of watching him perform jazz and getting Patsy's Pizza. Sam is more inclined to go back to and remember that pleasant memory than anything else because she is facing her own mortality near the end of her anticipated lifespan and the possibility of a disaster. After learning that Patsy's is no longer accessible due to the building's destruction, Eric gets an idea. What if they locate the jazz club that she and her father frequent? They share a few drinks here, and Eric finds some pizza from a different restaurant, marking it Patsy's on the box. After spending some lovely minutes together, the new friends decide that Sam has accomplished his purpose and decide to reach the coast before the boats depart from the harbor. Though it may appear odd at first, the protagonist's extremely focused purpose is a unique and poignant take on several well-known themes from literary and film history. Since Homer's Odyssey, the protracted trip home has served as a recurring topic in Western literature, inspiring several books and movies such as Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? The movie also has a subject in common with Citizen Kane, a classic movie that is frequently recognized as one of the greatest movies ever made. The main mystery of the movie begins with news magnate Charles Foster Kane saying Rosebud as he lies dying. We learn that when he was dying, he was thinking back on a carefree childhood memory. Rosebud was his beloved sled. At the end of her life, Sam, like Charles Foster Kane, is thinking back on happy childhood memories. When Sam and Eric arrive at the harbor, they observe the Death Angels visibly positioned along the beach, in addition to a group of occupied ships getting ready to leave. Because the monsters are incapable of swimming, they are aimlessly patrolling the area between Sam and Eric, preventing them from reaching the coast. With a steely expression, Sam places Eric in her yellow jacket and gives him her cherished cat. It's obvious that she wants him to live and continue with her cherished feline companion because she doesn't have much longer to live due to her illness. While Sam runs as loudly as he can in the opposite direction, Eric starts the perilous journey to shore. Eric and Frodo are able to board the ship with Henry, and presumably other survivors who will establish the island colony of A Quiet Place Part 2, because of the diversion. After her childhood memories are rekindled, Sam devises a plan to save Eric and Frodo, which Eric discovers later in a touching note she finds in the jacket pocket. Sam is the only one in the last scene. Walking through the empty streets of Harlem, she enjoys one more stroll while listening to Nina Simone's Feeling Good. She enjoys her last bit of normalcy before removing her earbuds from the portable speaker and turning on the music. The screen goes black as an extraterrestrial strikes the earth behind her. It is reasonable to suppose that Sam is slain by the Death Angel right away. Still, at least she felt good about herself and had made it home when she left.